than 40% of jobs getting affected with AI. I came to the realization that it's a do or die scenario. AI also is a graveyard of POCs. American policy can change anytime. That's an unfortunate thing today. The present tariff will not affect the software industry.
Today we have with us Sreekumar KP, who is the Vice President at Tata Elxsi. In this podcast, we will try to understand from him how he has adapted AI in his organization, what are the challenges he has faced, and what are the future he foresees. Welcome, KP. Can you share your journey to AI? What led you to focus on AI-based solutions?
Yeah, I think a lot of things happened accidentally. We all know that ChatGPT came somewhere in November 2022, and there was a lot of curiosity built around that. I also tried it, but then what struck me is like it gives an output. It is actually was giving useful information, but it was not that level where we can use in an enterprise environment. So I continued to try out experiment with the ChatGPT, and I was looking at industry reports, all those things. So, but it was remaining as a curiosity. Then I think somewhere in the beginning of 2023, the World Economic Forum released their job report, which they do regularly. So I went through, scanned it, and I saw, okay, there is a AI coming in. There is a big change in skills and the jobs that may come as part of it. So they projected, I think, somewhere more than 40% of jobs getting affected with AI. That also was a report, but it really doesn't register. And after some time in 2023, I just taken that information and then asked the ChatGPT itself. So, what is the impact and what is a past similar disruption or a change that happened? So, it gave me some amazing information, like it is comparable to internet or in past, electricity or industrial revolution. That is when actually you see this 40% jobs changing in 5 years kind of period. That is where it really stuck. Okay, so then I started looking at how things impact our industry, our business. There it really started.
Now we are in the mid of 2025. So how do you foresee what is the biggest impact AI is going to make at this point of time?
Okay, AI, that's what I'm saying. It is like electricity coming in. Okay, so it's not really one impact, or it's actually going to affect multiple or all the industries, and maybe 50% of 60% of jobs and professions. So that is a kind of impact that will come. So we cannot pinpoint one industry, but in general, the professions, industries which are more reliant on knowledge-based things is going to have a high impact.
As a business leader, how do you identify an opportunity which is worth investing when it comes to AI?
That's a difficult problem. Okay, particularly if you look with the Gen AI, see, it gives you an output. Whatever you try out, you will get in some form of shape. You can actually get an output. Yes. Okay. So that way, if you see in industry, AI also is a graveyard of POCs. Everybody has tried out different things, and there is an enthusiasm on doing POCs. So based on actually all those experience, I think in Tata Elxsi, in our company also, we have done lot of such trials. So I look at a 2x2 matrix. Okay, so one dimension is the impact, and the other dimension is the feasibility. So if you see how far this will have a business impact, okay, and a return on investment, is it justifiable to proportional to the effort and time you have to put in? Second is how feasible is the solution. So in many places, what happens is we get solutions, but are they having acceptable, say, accuracy? Uh, are they complying with regulations on security or uh, privacy? All those things, when we look at that, may not be that rosy.
Can you say that with an example, KP, so that everyone will be able to understand more? Something which has given a proper measurable result, even though not of a customer, but at least something which is in public domain.
Yeah. So if you look at, okay, my own experience with the Tata Alexi, uh, we had a product, okay, which was actually Caution, which is a beautiful product doing test automation. So the value proposition is, particularly for video application testing, this product can actually bring a lot of improvement by automating 70 to 80% of the test cases. Okay. Now, with the AI, we saw an opportunity to again transform the whole thing, where I think we don't have to write test scripts. So we give a description of the application, and the entire testing will be done by the tool
Using AI.
using AI.
Okay.
So this came as an idea, okay, and then we saw the impact. Impact is very huge because it solves two problems. One, generally, you don't have to spend a lot of effort to build automation scripts. Second, the maintaining the automation script. The problem is every time the application changes, the script also has to change. That way, many times what happens is after a time the script becomes kind of obsolete. So these two problems are actually solved. So it's a high impact uh, use case. But then when we looked at feasibility, it was not that rosy. So we have to hit certain F1 score. We have to particularly see the false positives coming very low, because in testing, if there is a lot of false positives, then the whole test results are not usable. So hitting that was a challenge.
Okay.
So if you look at, I have a POC done in few 1 or 2 months, but then it took 8 to 10 months to get to an acceptable, a great accuracy and accuracy.
So that is one of the challenges which almost all investors or business leaders will say. The investing in AI is a long-term activity. It requires the money, whereas there will be short-term targets, short-term return of investment requirement. So how do you manage between these two? You would have to invest for a long-term project development or long-term product development using AI, and same time you would have your own quarterly targets or annual targets. So how do you manage between both these?
Yeah, I think so. You have to be business as usual, and there are a lot of problems around that. Okay, so leadership tend to get busy with these things, and you tend to miss the disruptions and what happens in the periphery. Okay, that's a reality of everyday life. Okay, but when you see, that's where the strategic intent planning, all those comes. Okay, so if I look at it, okay, uh, say if you look at the portfolio of products which I am handling, uh, I came to the realization that it's a do or die scenario. If we don't transition and make our product transform with the Gen AI, then I think we don't have a chance to survive in that space. So that realization is what I think drives us forward.
I think that is the $1 million question in all AI related topics also. How this job market is evolving? What are the new skills engineers or other employees should gain to survive in this market industry? What would be the upcoming trend when it comes to the job market? How it is going to be disrupted?
It's if you see that the immediate future, uh, people ask to upskill with the AI and AI tools. So that definitely is something which is on the horizon. But if you see, even if you refer to the World Economic Forum report, so what you see is there is around 28% of the world jobs are going to disappear. Okay, and then there is a 23% of jobs which are coming in.
So these are job roles, not the number of jobs.
No, it's a number of jobs. So if you take, they have actually done an analysis of something like 800 million jobs. So in that, 28% of that all jobs will actually diminish. But then there is 23% jobs which are actually coming in. So this transition is mainly driven by the skill set in AI, data engineering, all those things. Second is the transition that is happening is when you are having tools, say for example, we calculator came. Okay, so then your uh, capability is not just doing mathematical computation, right? Your capability has to bring and defining the problem. Okay, using calculator to solve equations. It changes like that. So that is happening now. So if you look at, say for example, software industry, so the programming skills are becoming less critical. But people say, if you ask me, say capabilities in design thinking, okay, capabilities to define problems from first principles, solve problems from using first principles. That's going to be important. Okay, so that is a short term view. But when you look at long term view, see there will be a set of new jobs which will emerge. Okay, so if you see uh, engineering as a profession, it came with industrial revolution.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you see many jobs which are there today, okay, they came with the internet revolution. So there will be new jobs which will actually emerge. Even computer programming has only, as a job, is there only for 30 years. Right? This was not there before. So new jobs will emerge. And what are those jobs? I think we'll have to wait. Okay.
So when we talk about software industry, I think the managerial roles, middle management role like project manager, program manager, delivery manager. So these kind of roles, I think I have read in an article that this is being taken over by the automated tools. So what is the change happening in that segment, especially for the middle management category, as well as how the new method of monitoring is happening now.
If you look at actually middle management jobs, I think that's actually at risk in every industry. Okay. Because most of the middle management jobs come because you have lot of people you have to coordinate between them. So if you take software example, you have people, there is analysts, there is architects, there is programmers, testers, DevOps. So all these are there. So then you need the people at the middle manager level to orchestrate the jobs and seamlessly get that done. But when you are actually moving into a paradigm where a good analyst with the tools can actually generate the code and create the product, then you don't need this many people. So you don't need this many middle managers also. Second is our traditional concepts of measurements also change. So if you see story point based the measurement of work may change to just a screen based number of screens done. Okay. So a person will be doing a screen. It will not be doing a granular level, a story point or anything like that. So it will move like that. And then the other thing is today, you know, see if you look at reporting, okay, that is actually based on limited data. So you may have same if you take software development, you may have a Jira, okay, and you may have mostly the program managers generate reports based that. But with the Gen AI, that will change. So we can integrate Teams channels. We can actually integrate the meetings, audio or video, all those information into the data. So you will see the real time exactly what happening in a team or a program based on more source of data. Okay, and that will be automatically summarized and presented. Okay, so
So if we come one more level down, how is the engineers responding? Are they satisfied with the new ways of working? Are they happy on the new ways of working with the support of Copilot's AI?
See, what my experience is when I see engineers, see, it's like maybe bicycle coming to a group of youngsters. So there will be a challenge in actually you learning and riding the cycle. But then once you ride the cycle, you are definitely in a you enjoy it, right? You feel that freedom to move. Okay, all those actually you experience. So I think people who are actually started using the tools, I think they are experiencing that. So they are really happy. So there is a high level of engagement with people who are using the tools because lot of the mundane task which repetitive stuff which they have to do has been taken over by the tool.
In your perspective, KP, which industry will be most impacted with AI, at least in the near future? And if you are told to pick one industry to invest further, okay, which one you will prefer?
Okay, it's $1 million question. Okay. I am also in a way searching for that. Okay. But in general, what I see is a lot of industries where heavy document processing. Okay. So if you see insurance companies, even banks, okay, then the some of these logistics companies, okay, the courier services, lot of places where heavy document processing involved. That may be one area where there will be a large impact. Second is actually the uh, medical side, basically the the healthcare industry. Okay, the way we'll see that diagnostics, then the way I think that's going to have a big deal impact here. But then you go one more level in depth. Say if you see platforms like Microsoft Discovery, which is aiding scientific discovery, so that can have huge impact. Okay, so in drug discovery or identifying new chemicals, or but which I don't have a feel of it, but that could be the possibilities.
How is customers responding to the new normal? Are they really investing in the AI based products?
They are actually because if you look at every company, I think if you see at the senior levels, so that is CXOs or CEOs, or they recognize that the investing in AI is critical for survival. Okay, so the challenge people are looking at is where to invest. Okay, so what to invest, where to invest. That's actually a phase which is we are going through.
You would be already heard that. How do you see the new tariffs implemented by America now? How it will be impacting India? What is your view on that, especially in the software industry?
I think the software industry, as of now, the present tariff or we may discuss will not affect the software industry because the trade happens in two things. One is the goods and other is the services. The current all the tariff in US is actually centered around the goods part of it, okay, which probably India has something like 80 billion export to US. But the services part is not actually coming under this tariff regime. So far, it's not going to affect our.
But they're forcing companies like Apple to invest more in their country itself.
That's not on the good part. That's on the manufacturing part.
Okay, so you believe that software industry will not be impacted because of Trump?
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so American policy can change anytime. That's unfortunate thing today, right? So it's not really as stable or as strategic. We used to see in the past. But as of now, the current uh, tariff regime, I think, is not going to affect the services part.
Kebi, if you could give one piece of advice to the new investors, new startup starting in AI adoption, what it would be? What is the single piece of advice you can give to the uh, startups who are adopting AI now?
So if you are adopting AI now, I think you need to look at two aspects. Okay, one is how do you leverage AI in your own core business flows. Okay, so you have to see actually how you operate better with leveraging AI. So there you need to really focus on your core business activities. So if you are a software company, you have to look at how the software development can be leveraged through AI. And this other part is actually how do you create value to customer. So where you are actually looking at your products or services, what are the opportunities there to generate value for your customers. So that could be okay. So you, for example, you helping your customer to modernize, say if you're a software again industry, modernize their legacy software systems, which may drastically reduce their operational cost.
Thank you very much, KP, for your time.
Yeah, very nice talking to you.